Well, little lady, let me elucidate here. Everybody wants to be a cat.
Alright, well we're back into Skyrim, and I've already forgotten how to control my character, but we're going back to being a cat, obviously, and it's okay. It went well. There were some hiccups, and I am not the best at this game, but let's get to it. So I kind of forgot what I was even doing, but luckily this lady pointed, that way. And so without further ado, I went in a completely different direction. I didn't go that way. But I did talk to someone about a letter, and then I went into someone's house, and then I took some things, and you know how the game goes. I don't have to tell you. And it did occur to me that I might be taking this cat thing a little too seriously. Accurate. A dog. You watch your filthy dog mouth! Think I won't pounce? I will pounce on you! Sit. You be obedient. You sit and be... Why can't I pick that? You sit and be an obedient dog. That's what dogs are good for. This is locked, isn't it? Oh no. And of course, being a cat, I refuse to leave anything on a table. So if you're just joining us, this is me clearing a table. I cannot wait until I can just whoosh the things off the table, because this is ridiculous. And then I saw this guy was sleeping, and I'm a cat, so no one's allowed to sleep but me. And then, of course, right back to my favorite pastime, clearing off tables. I mean, someone's got to do it. And then just, a lot of nothing. Just mundane running around. But it was followed by some poignant observations. What am I walking up on? Anybody know? Anybody know? I'm not live. I don't actually know who I'm talking to. The insanity. It only gets worse the longer I'm a cat. It all makes so much sense now. Anyway, I don't know. And then, of course, more running around. But it's gonna get exciting soon, I promise. It's any minute now. Super exciting. But first, more poignant observations. I don't know if I'm gonna get a bow. Everybody knows. Bow stealth is the way to play Skyrim. I don't want to do bow stealth. Stealth? I mean, I'm a cat. My cat's not stealthy, though, but he's also incredibly fat, so it would be difficult for him to be stealthy. But there's never a time you don't know where he is. Like, he'll jump down and you'll hear a thump throughout the entire house. I'm like, oh, there he is. But it's not his fault that he's so fat. He just, he eats to hide the pain. Are you in the tree? Followed by some pretty generic combat. Followed, of course, by more astute observations. Well, that's a big bird. And some super exciting vertical experimentation. Yes and yes. Can I survive this jump? I'm a cat. I should be fine. I was not. I was not fine. I was not. So no. I do like this. Like, it's just a nice touch with the banner flapping in the breeze. And of course, more generic combat. And then, astute observations. Just keep going. Now there's a lot of hidden things in this, like you have to know that you're supposed to go to a place and do a thing with another thing, and then a thing will come, and then you have to fight the thing, and then the thing gives you a thing to go to another place and do a thing. But I don't know enough about anything, so we're just going to keep playing and do all the side missions. Because I'm a cat, I do what I want. Oh, what's going on? Observations. I'm not worried about a spider web. I definitely would eat a spider. Yeah, I know. It even says empty. I love how it says search empty, and I still do it. Like, oh, well, what could be in it though? Maybe I want that empty. Can I take that empty with me? Observations. Alright. I am thinking occasionally. I am occasionally thinking. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to save this. Oof. No, there's no one here. Because I don't know how hard this spider fight's gonna be as an unarmed khajiit. And the answer to how hard it is to fight the spider unarmed? Anticlimactic. Really not that hard. And with some real combat behind us, now comes more. Observations. Listen. You're either gonna die to me, or die to the, whatever, the undead thing, my boobs. Yeah. Reavers. Just kidding. I don't remember what they're called. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Dragger. Yeah. Right? Dragger. Draugr. Dragon. Yeah, you were gonna die to a dragon if I didn't kill you. So, you know. Moot point. Wasn't. More importantly, I just didn't care whether you lived or died, so, you know. And then one of my favorite parts of this game, the old trapdoors. I love killing enemies with the doors where I don't have to actually fight them. It's just funny. It's funny. You know what came next? You know what came next? Astute observations. This game is so hard. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I legitimately can't speak. I legitimately remember it being harder than this. Like, maybe Unarmed Khajiit is the secret way you're supposed to play. A nimbly bimbly, no, no, no. A nimbly bimbly, keep on walking. Just come this way. Keep on walking. Keep on walking, keep on walking. You missed. You're gonna have to get closer. Oh, you have to do a little better than that. Oh, wow. Wow. I am so sorry. I did not see that coming. And then I tried way too hard to hit a pot to drop fire on a couple them guys. For what reason? And I died. So this time I decided to do things a little differently. Sneak increased. Yeah, that makes sense. Can I just stand here? Get my sneak up? Oh no. There's more guys. What am I gonna do? Oh, I got hit. I'm not okay with being hit. We discussed this. I did say my safety word. Poignant observations! What a wonderfully secured chamber. There's just it's just right there. You just pull it. What was that supposed to keep out? You know what? Maybe it was only there to keep that dragger in. A troll skull. There's trolls down here. Well, I mean, not anymore. That's a skull. I think he needs it. Just the... Oh, I saw another one. There you go. That's my method. Just keep pushing the button until it gives it to you. A skeleton. There's people down here. Well, not anymore. Yeah, you get the joke. And then a lot of nothing happened, and I decided to try to level my sneak up. Some bad decisions were made. And I died again. But it's no big deal. You just get back up, and you try again. And then we learned why it's so easy to contain the dragger. You don't even have to actually bait a trap to convince them to walk into one. Are you really gonna walk into the blades? I'm not even... I didn't even set the trap. Okay, whatever. And then a bunch of nothing. And then the super cool spinny door. I really do like these doors. And the final chamber. And you know, we found a wordy wall and learned a word. And then impending combat. And then we tried to use our unarmed khajiit skills against the dragger overlord. It went well. But we got back up and we tried again, and you know, the second time went a lot better. You know, we could have both gotten along. Didn't have to be a fight to the death. It's not what I wanted. But you always gotta make it so much harder than it has to be. All you had to do was say, hey man, don't take that stone. And I'd have been like, I don't give a shit about the war anyway. Or the dragons. Keep your stone. And you'd have been like, oh, it's really cool of you. I'd been like, hey man, I know, I'm a cool guy. It's fine. Just go back to sleep. And I would have stolen the stone and run. I mean, I am still a cat. And then we ran around some more. And then we gave a guy back his pretty hand thing. Took everything that wasn't bolted down, as you do. Cleared a couple tables, you know, as you do. Learned the finer parts of banging on metal. Mixed up some planty bits and buggy bits and bear bits. And then we were right back into the bigger world. But we didn't make it very far before some thief decided it was his time to die. And then I went chasing some bugs. I mean, I have a cat. And then some brothers and sisters got mad at me because I didn't help them kill a giant that was already dead when I got there. And that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. And then I met some more cat people from my hometown of, Catistan. And then I got manhandled by some guards, and I was like, excuse me, I saw a dragon, and they were like, oh, why didn't you say so? Right this way. And then I talked to the Jarl about his dragon problem, and he was like, oh, we've got to take care of this. And I said, I got something else to take care of first. And then some wizard boy gave me lip. Freaking attitude. And then I went about reading books, you know, as you do, reading books. But apparently, I read the wrong book. And then I died for it. Guess this is a kingdom that isn't big on literacy. And then the Jarl said, take these people and go punch a dragon, and I was like, hey man, I'm on it. And then in a fairly uncharacteristic manner, I actually went straight to it. Like, I went right on this mission. I didn't stop to fight bandits or chase bugs or anything. It's really weird. And then came the super important question. Would I actually punch a dragon? It counts. And then I ate his soul, which honestly also seems perfectly on par for being a cat. That makes sense. And then I did exactly what you'd expect. I went right back to the Jarl, and I said, hey, yeah, there's a dragon, you beat the dragon, and the other guys did most of the work, and I just got the last few hits in. And then I ate his soul, which, you know, that was pretty tasty. And I didn't piddle around or fight any, you know, random bandits or get lost or, you know, whatever. But eventually we made it back to the Jarl, and that's what matters, right? I mean, these things aren't timely, you know, you just go at your own pace or whatever. And then came the moment I've been waiting for. And then some guy that took an arrow to a knee was like, hey, you gotta stop yelling in my building. And I was like, no, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening anytime soon. And then, of course, my good friend the Jarl was super impressed with everything that I'd accomplished because I am amazing. And then I had to get right back to the super important work that I'm here for. Excuse me. Thank you. But eventually I had to get on with it, and I met up with these punchy boys, followed by some super important work. And then one of the punchy boys was like, hey, come punch me if you can punch. So I punched that guy. I guess that's what you do. And then we went on with it. And then I got back to my work. And then I made a mistake. I think I cleared the wrong table. Obviously, he wasn't my target. He's not a cup. He's not a plate. As far as I know, he's never been on a table. But they didn't want to listen to reason, and then I found out that probably should have been saving more often, and then I died a couple more times. And then I decided, you know what? I don't even want to be a punchy brother. So, I got the next taxi out of town. And I decided, you know what? I want to be a thief. And then this guy challenged me into some good old-fashioned fisticuffs, and I accepted. And he ran in the house and fooched the whole pooch! And now I can't do it. And I can't get him to do it again. And I don't have a save to go back to that I'm willing to go back to. And then some Agog girls killed a vampire, which, I mean, that was pretty cool. And then I lied to some guards. As you do. As you do. And then I got some free vampire loot, which, you know, it's pretty cool. And then, Lydia, what are you doing? And then I decided to be a thief, which came pretty naturally to me, because, you know, I'm a cat. And, Lydia, what are you doing? And then I found out the hard way that you can't sell things you stole back to the person you stole it from. So I was going to need an uncle that I could fleece things to. So naturally, into the rat way we go. Where I promptly met some guys who didn't like me being down there. But I just punched the first one to death. It was not that hard. And apparently his buddy got mad about it, so I punched him to death too. And then I played with some string, found some loot, took everything that wasn't nailed down. And then it was time. One of the most anticipated fights of this entire playthrough, because this was the man who had my magic fisties. And I fully intended to fight him with honor in the ring of his choice in a noble round of fisticuffs until I changed my mind. And just like that, I finally had them. The pugilist's gloves. The word is pugilist. Pugilist, not pug. No, it's pugilist. But anyway, I had my kitten mittens, and that was all that mattered to me. Because now, I can cat punch. And then I met the leader of the thieves, who told me to go rough up some deadbeats. So I went on down to the local pub and asked the lizard boy about the lizard girl, and he told me to lean on the lizard girl's family, and it sounded like exactly what I would do. So I did, and she was all like, "Oh, not my family," so she paid up. And then I popped on over to a hostel and told a girl that I would be hostile and smash her super important statue. And she's like, "No, my statue!" And she paid up. And then, without getting lost at all, I popped on over to the pawn shop. Not at all, because I had some purloined goods I needed to unload and thought maybe a pawn shop would be a little more keen to pay. But no! I showed up to get the money out of him, and I didn't even have to do anything. I was gonna threaten his earn, and he was like, "No, I'll pay up." And he paid up. And just like that, with a little bit of catch-a-batics, I was right back to see my boss and report in and tell him what an amazing job I'd done. And then he was all, "Well, follow me and let's meet the big boss." So I met him. And I don't know why. Something about his attitude just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, you ever just meet somebody and think, I don't like you. Just right off the bat, I don't like you. So I decided to take him down. Which it turns out, is actually a really bad idea. But you know me, I got back up and tried again. And then got back up and tried again. And got back up and tried again. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this guy might be a vampire. Because it looks to me like he's drinking my blood. And also, he's clearly essential. So, eventually, I decided to do what he asked and join his team. And then, after talking to a bunch of other chiefs about a bunch of nothing, I eventually found the only person down here I really wanted to find. My uncle. Finally somebody I could fleece stolen goods through, because that's all I wanted. I mean, I'm a cat. And with that, this adventure came to a close. I had met a bunch of people and done a bunch of things, but eventually ended up exactly where I needed to be. The Thieves Guild. And I'm positive I'll have another adventure after this one. I just don't know where I'm going next. But I hope to see you there. Thank you!